I know why at least one guy isn't getting sex from their wife anymore. This video is for him. Or is it you? Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Moleski. This is my YouTube channel. This is the plan. Every Monday or Tuesday, I put out a new video topic, and then every day after that, I do a video from your comments below. I do that every day, or some of the days. So leave a comment below, and I will maybe talk about it. So why would the woman who used to have sex with you stop having sex with you? Because let's be honest, you don't care about the other dudes who are watching this. It's you who you care about. If you're here, it's because you're not getting any. So don't worry about them, and don't worry about all the other hers in the world. Let's just think about you and your her. The good news is if she used to have sex with you abundantly and cheerfully, she'll do it again. And if she never has, we still might be able to get her to do it. So let's kick this conversation off with a reminder of why she initially had sex with you. She wanted to show you her goods, to sell you, to please you, to share herself with you. And I think it's very important for you to remember that and let that sink in. She wanted to impress you, to sell you on what she has to offer. She wanted to be with you. You are the reason that she wanted to have sex. She wanted you to choose her, and then you did. And now you and I meet. So let's start trying to find your unique solution to this issue. Okay? So today I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Number 1, what was it about you that made her want to be with you? What was front and center for her to be interested in? The way you were or the way she saw you is really vital to understanding the conundrum that you are in. Another way to think about this is, what were you not like that may have made her interested? So answer either of those questions, but not now. Keep it in your head, because I want you, when you answer this, if you decide to do a deep dive, and you're going to have to position yourself in a way and give yourself time and space to be able to answer truthfully, deeply, honestly. Okay? So anyway, now she's got you and you've got her. And that's actually part of the reason why she's less likely to want to have sex with you frequently and cheerfully, but it's only part of the reason. The bigger reason is that she settled. And don't misunderstand me, she didn't settle for you. I hope not. What I'm talking about is the thing that everybody does, and that is settling in. In all likelihood, she simply settled in with you. And one of her ways of settling in with you is having less sex with you. Your big task will be to change the settling. How's this settled to? You don't scrap a house because of a foundation issue, but you do have to fix it. Otherwise, the house will crumble. It'll go from being a minor inconvenience to something you kind of notice, to something you definitely notice, to being completely inhospitable, okay? You have to add the strength to the weak points, and then everything will change. Okay, question number 2. How have you settled in with her? Your answer reveals a key component as to why she has responded and settled in with you the way she has. If she's not having sex with you anymore, a simple, crude, unfair, and actually not quite accurate reason is she's embarrassed that she chose you. Okay? So a kinder version is that she's not proud to be with you. Both of the things I just said suck to hear. Okay? But stick with me. Here's the truth. If a woman is proud of her man, she will have happy sex with him a lot. If she's not proud, or I'm flipping it and saying embarrassed, she won't. So why is pride one of the strongest currencies in copulation capitalism? Why is pride so powerful that it can create the desire to give and receive an orgasm? I bet you thought your big dumb face was the reason, or your big fat wallet with Skrilla in it. And that is a currency, yeah, but I want you to know this. All things and actions are run through a distillation process by her, and pride is the filter. Pride represents a genre of feelings that produces a genre of actions. And when a woman is proud, those actions are submission and sex. She wants to be desired by the person that she has pride in. And if she's desired by him, bingo, bingo, bongo, as they used to say. I don't think anyone ever used to say it. I say bingo, bingo, bongo now. Then she's going to submit herself and have sex with you. So, like I said, the extreme from pride is embarrassment. Are you an embarrassment to her? And that's a tough question to ask oneself, and it's probably a harder question to answer honestly. But if you want to know, you got to know. You got to say, you got to tell, you got to think. The thing is you know the answer in your gut. Men are good at being strong. They're good at seeing what most don't want to see, feeling the necessary pain for the inevitable gain that the necessary pain brings. So, are you an embarrassment? Now, if your answer to that question is in no way are you an embarrassment, and she has every reason to be proud of you, then I have two thoughts. You are the unluckiest man on the planet to have found the one woman who won't sexually respond to a strong, self-possessed man, a man who holds his head high with a pride rooted in reality. Number two, do you know what number two is? Number two is I think you're full of shit, or you're not answering honestly. You're not digging deep enough. Okay? All right. That's just one woman's opinion. I don't even know you. All right. So back to settling in. I know that everyone changes, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about change. I'm talking about settling in. For instance, have you ever noticed some women look better than other women, and at every age? And I'm not talking about natural beauty. I'm talking about looking good on purpose. Looking good because of personal decisions that are made and made frequently. Have you noticed how some women look at their husbands with warmth and others disdain? How some women keep very fit and others get fat? Those women have all settled in to their relationship based on a natural inclination and, more importantly, what their husbands have allowed. The man sets the terms of how he'll be viewed and how he'll be treated. The man sets the terms for what goes. I talked to a guy who told his wife at the beginning before they got married, if you get fat, our marriage is over. Do you know what happened? She was indignant for a while, but they've been happily married for 20 years now. She's not fat. He doesn't have a reason to leave. They're happily married. Many women will settle into her relationship with you and honor her sexual contract with you in this way. She won't have sex often, but she'll only have it with you. You've allowed her to settle in that way. You may not have liked it, but if it's your reality, you've allowed it. So how do you effectively ignite her sexual energy? The answer is hidden in the first two questions that I asked you, and more on that later. But first, to help you, I'm going to give you a list of the grossest things a man can do to try to get sex from his woman, or a list of things that will never get you sex, okay? Because they're gross. This is what I mean. Do you know what that was? It's syrup. Do you know how gross this feels, okay? There are some things that are so unattractive in a man's behavior or communication that the best way to describe it is like a syrup that coats a woman's mind and affects her body. Have you ever gotten syrup on your hands? Can you feel this vicariously through me right now? It's gross. So she may want to forget about any of your syrupy infractions and she may not want them to affect her, but how could she avoid the sticky, icky feeling of syrup? Ugh. Oof. And some women can handle a coat or two. I would venture to say most women can handle a coat or two. But if it gets too thick, she couldn't fuck you even if she wanted to because her legs are stuck together. That's how tacky this is. So I'm going to give you the list, but let me wash my hands first. Yeah, I did this for you. Look, and you don't even like me. And you're going to write a mean comment. You're going to tell your friends that I'm the worst YouTuber ever and I got all gross for you. The things I do for you. So here they are. Things that women have a hard time dealing with and over time will absolutely kill your sex life. So here we go. Whining. Children whine. Women don't want to have sex with a man who acts like a sniveling child. Being childish in general is a huge libido killer. Next, underhanded comments. Why underhanded comments? Because a strong person has adequate belief in their value, so they feel secure enough to speak their mind freely. There's no need for a person to be underhanded when they're powerful enough to get the point across in an overhand toss. If you don't feel value for yourself, you can hardly expect her to. Mumbling. If you mumble, you're showing fear. Mumbling. If you mumble, you're showing fear. You want to be noticed but not heard. And if you want to be heard, you don't want to be heard clearly. Your tool is distortion. You want there to be adequate distortion in your words so you can deny them later or maybe soften their meaning. I didn't really mean it like that. Children who aren't raised by effective parents will mumble when they feel unsure. You're not a child, again. Shoulder hunching. Chapter 1, Rule 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back. That's what Jordan Peterson says. Why? Why? Why is it his first rule? It shows assertion in a world that demands it if one wants to be heard and seen. When you hunch, you are trying to hide yourself as if you don't want to be seen or you feel like you don't deserve to take up space. Women want a man who deserves to take up space. Pouting, I just spit, and sniveling. Those are both reactions to defeat. And what kind of a person what kind of a person acts defeated? Certainly not a seed spreader. Complaining is an immature response when you don't have enough power to get the change needed for a desired outcome, for your desired outcome. Complaining is what you do when you're busy not taking control of a situation that could be taken control of. A doer doesn't have time to complain. No one is turned on by a complainer. And every complainant has started their complaining career with what? With one complaint. So let me save you. Don't even make your first complaint. Being emotional, aka not exhibiting my favorite thing in the world, stoicism, when you let others to control your emotion, particularly negative emotions, that doesn't look good to others and it doesn't feel good to yourself. You are surrendering yourself to another person or situation. If you can't control yourself, it's hard for anyone to think you are capable of controlling yourself or anyone else or any other situation. Part 2 of that is anyone who can get you to lose control of your emotions has the power. They have the power. Lacking self-confidence. And if you do any of the things that I've just outlined, you're probably lacking self-confidence. So what are you going to do? Well, hint number 1, stop doing these physical things that give your power away. The physical matches something emotional. Stop the physical, let's guide the emotional. Next, making excuses. What's another word for making? I would say creating. You are spending your limited energy creating a notion of your own incompetence. Excuses are your physical energy being spent reinforcing the self-belief that you are unable. Giving yourself excuses of inabilities, which are usually not inabilities, but rather unwillingness wearing a mask. An excuse is just unwillingness masquerading as inability. Next, being needy. This is a pretty big offense. When a woman is made to believe that she is needed by a man, she sees it as a weakness. I'm going to tell you something. A strong man doesn't need shit, and certainly not from a woman. A strong man needs for nothing, but he wants what he wants. Men want, women need. And a man who we would have pride in is so strong that he gets what he wants. Women don't want to be needed, they need to be wanted. Men are different. Men don't need to be wanted, they want to be needed. They want to be useful. They want to be indisposable and indispensable. They want to be invaluable. Am I right so far? Am I wrong? Do you hate me? Even though I did the syrup thing for you? Being indecisive. Indecision retards movement. She's looking for you to have a vision. Have a vision, make a plan, and execute. When you're indecisive, you don't believe in what you're doing enough to give it your all or really your any. You're not doing anything in life to make gains. And remember, a strong man gets what he wants in life. If a man can't decide what he wants, he's indecisive. A man who is indecisive is squandering his ambition muscle. Women really, really like ambition muscles. Success muscles are sexy too. But ambition muscle, woohoo, sexy. Bending over, limbo style, bending over backwards for a woman. I call them unearned raises, giving what isn't earned. Some men will do whatever they think the woman wants. And I will say that is the fastest way to turn a woman off. That communicates that you need her. You can't live without her. And remember, women don't want to be needed. Need is a repellent. Don't be needy. Don't bend over backwards for a woman. Or anyone, really. But we're talking about women right now and sex. So all those things is what you should not be doing if you want to get pussy, or if you want to get money, or a boat, or the free time it takes to go fishing whenever you want, or more guns, the bottles of cognac that you want, the bottles of whiskey, the bottles of perfume, prestige, fame, contentment, pride in self. Women love power, and there are few things more powerful and alluring to watch than a self-possessed man. Hear that? A man possessed and on fire with himself. A man learning, growing, and flexing his indispensable value to the world. I did a video titled, I can't remember, I'll put it right here. It's something like, what are you possessed by? Because we're all possessed. Some of my commenters, some of you, are possessed by a need to be cruel. Some men are possessed by guilt. Some women are possessed by a fear of abandonment. What you're possessed by motivates you. Some people are motivated by shame and fear and regret and indecisiveness and addiction and popularity and all these really not great things. But hear this, hear well. Any men who are possessed with anything beside themselves or God will be the most lost and saddest men on the planet. And the saddest men, they don't get laid. I want to help you regain leadership over your life, and a wife is part of that life for many of you. You are meant to be in the leadership role. You cannot be a follower, not to your wife. To get respect, to earn a woman's pride in you, you have to be a great leader, not a shitty leader. What's the difference? A shitty leader will be followed by obligation, unwillingness, disdain, contempt, all of the feelings and actions that I just went over. That's what following a shitty leader makes you feel like, and it's probably why you are acting the way you are, if you had any of those actions. You are being led by your wife. You're being led by a shitty leader. You're supposed to be the one in charge. She sucks at leading and you suck at following. You both suck. You have to right the ship. You know why? Because she won't. You know why? Because she's a shitty leader. You see, and that's why there are so many problems in relationships. And I'm sure there's people gasping or tisking or shaking their head over the notion that I just laid before you, particularly by women who are leading. But here's the rub. When you have the honor, when women have the honor of being led by a great leader, they're full of pride and happiness and glee and pride. You're turned into a relaxed follower. You know that you are in the best hands possible. A great leader will make you feel that no one could lead better, not even her. Relief. And when you're relaxed, you have sex. So that's the secret. Spread the news. I gave you a list of syrup-inducing actions. Now you know. But if you're still confused, consider it this way. Gentlemen, if your relationship was televised to your friends, what, if anything, would you be embarrassed for your buddies to see? Those are the same things that a woman doesn't want to see in you. Got it? And really, to be fair, are any of these syrup traits valuable at all to yourself, a company, a friendship, a relationship? No. They're valuable if you want to be controlled by someone. The government probably loves people like this, but not your wife and not normie people who have self-respect. So the two questions I asked you were, what were you putting front and center for her to be interested in when you first got together? Remembering the way you were or the way she saw you is crucial to figuring out a way out of your sexless marriage with her and entering into a sexually fulfilling marriage with her. Answering that question will help you to answer my third and final question, which I haven't asked you yet. What's the difference? What are the key differences in how you presented yourself then compared to now? What did she see in you then, and what does she see in you now? What didn't she see in you then, and what does she see in you now? The disparity between the two answers will probably be proportionate to how bad your sex life is. I hope it's just a little bad, just a little bad. If it's really bad, you have more work to do. No big deal. The other question that I asked in this video, and just to remind you, is how have you settled in with her? How have you allowed her to settle in with you? The answer to this question is important as well. Has the slack you have given her in settling been more than you ever initially thought you would allow? Have you settled in with her in a way that makes the entire structure uneasy? Sometimes the settling in you've both done happens so slowly and it feels so comfortable until one day you realize that it has to be fixed or everyone who stays is going to get hurt. Now we part ways. Now it's up to you. This is your Rubik's Cube. I can tell you the goal. The goal of Rubik's Cube is to get all the colors the same on each side. Okay, great, stupid bitch. I don't need that. I need to know, but I can't tell you. Every one of you has a different Rubik's Cube and you have your own unique ways and moves to be done to win the puzzle, okay? Any man who is looked at by their woman with warmth and hears from his wife's lips generously, "I'm so proud of you," is a man who's getting a lot of sex from that woman. You can count on that. When a woman doesn't want to have sex with you, hey, I talk a lot of smack about women. Now I'm just telling you the opposite, like let me get at everyone. Everyone's being a ding dong now. And now I'm just pointing out ding dong moves that your wife has done to lead you to be the ding dong that you are today, okay? So anyway, when a woman doesn't want to have sex with you anymore, it's not just the sex, it's not her mood. There is something seriously flawed at the foundational level of the relationship. You just have to fix it or don't. Isn't that cool that you have this free will? Woo! So what do you think? Was this video helpful at all? Did it make you think at all? If you're here, the high five. I'm happy about that. Let me know in the comments, because I would like to go live, but I can't. Why? Because my internet sucks. Doesn't matter. You're not here to hear about that. I'm going to try to go live this week, and if not, I'm going to do some videos using the comments below so we can delve deeper, okay? What do you think? I love you, and if you need permission from some stupid idiot woman, let that stupid idiot woman be me. You have my permission to take the reins back. Got it? Okay. Whew. Bye-bye.